Long ago, before heroes were crowned by victory, there was a strength so great it shook the earth, and a lesson so heavy it could only be learned through humility. This is the story of Hercules, not as a conqueror, but as a soul seeking redemption. In this first episode of Celestial Legends, we begin at the moment where power falters and true strength is born. Welcome to Hercules and the 12 Labors, the weight of strength. Long before Hercules became a name spoken among the stars, he was known for one thing alone, his strength. It was said the earth trembled beneath his steps, and that no mortal could match the power in his hands. Yet even as the world marveled, the heavens watched more quietly. For strength, when given without wisdom, can weigh heavily upon the soul, pressing harder than stone or steel. Hercules did not choose his strength. It was woven into him at birth, a gift of the gods that set him apart from all others. People praised him, feared him, and expected greatness from him. But few asked how it felt to carry such power every waking moment. Fewer still wondered what might happen if that strength was ever turned inward, tangled with emotion, pride, or pain. High above, the gods observed Hercules' growing fame with divided hearts. Some saw promise, others danger. Among them was Hera, whose jealousy stirred like a storm cloud. She whispered confusion into Hercules' mind, blurring truth and shadow until strength lost its balance. In that moment of divine interference, tragedy followed, swift and terrible, leaving Hercules broken beneath the weight of what he had unknowingly done. When the fog lifted, Hercules stood amid silence and sorrow. His great strength, once praised, now felt like a curse he could not set down. Grief hollowed his chest, and shame bent his powerful frame. For the first time, he did not wish to be strong. He wished only to undo the harm his hands had caused. But the past could not be changed, only faced. Hercules wandered far from cheering crowds and songs of glory. He walked as one unworthy of praise, carrying remorse instead of pride. At last, he sought guidance, kneeling not as a hero, but as a man asking how to make things right. He did not demand forgiveness. He did not defend himself. He asked only for a way forward, a path where strength could serve, not destroy. The answer was not comfort, nor was it swift redemption. Hercules was told he must labor, 12 trials, each demanding effort, patience, and humility. They would not erase the past, but they could shape the future. And so, Hercules accepted the burden willingly. For the first time, his strength bowed to purpose. Redemption, he learned, does not begin with victory, but with responsibility. As Hercules rose from where he knelt, something within him had shifted. His strength had not lessened, yet it no longer felt wild or untethered. It waited, quiet, listening. The path ahead would be long and unforgiving, but he did not turn away. For the first time, Hercules understood that strength alone could not carry him forward. Only intention could. Only humility could guide each step he was now willing to take. The world did not cheer as Hercules began his journey. There were no songs, no banners lifted in his name. His trials lay hidden beyond hills and shadows, unseen by those who once praised him. Yet this silence mattered. Redemption, Hercules learned, is not shaped by applause. It is formed in unseen moments, when effort replaces pride, and when doing what is right matters more than being seen as great. Each step forward reminded Hercules of what he carried within him. Not just power, but choice. Strength could crush, or it could protect. It could demand obedience or offer service. With every mile, he practiced restraint, letting his thoughts settle before his hands moved. The weight he bore was no longer only grief, but responsibility. The understanding that his actions would shape more than his own fate. Though the gods still watched from afar, Hercules no longer measured himself by their favor. His journey was not about pleasing Olympus, nor reclaiming lost glory. It was about becoming worthy of the strength he had been given. In accepting his trials, Hercules did not seek to forget the past. He chose instead to let it guide him, each memory sharpening his resolve to act with care and conscience. As the first labor awaited him beyond the horizon, Hercules paused. He breathed deeply, grounding himself in the earth beneath his feet. Strength surged within him as it always had, but now it listened before it acted. This was not the beginning of a conquest. It was the beginning of service, the beginning of learning, the beginning of a hero shaped not by power alone, but by the courage to change. And so the story of Hercules truly began, not with triumph, but with humility, not with victory, but with responsibility accepted. His labors would test his body, his patience, and his heart. But long before the monsters and trials, Hercules faced his greatest challenge, choosing who he would become. Strength, when guided by humility, does not destroy. It redeems, and this was only the first step.